Bada, 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 bada. I will continue the book yesterday. The book from the yesterday. Will continue the book. I will continue reading the book that I have read yes, yesterday. Maybe not. I will read art. Mm-hmm. Contrapposto. Contrapposto. In fine art, contrapposto and figura serpentiana tianta are too closely related but historical distinct computational principles used to depict the human body in a way that suggests life, movement, and expressive tension. They emerged in different artistic periods and reflect different philosophical attitudes toward the body, balance, and motion. Contrapunto, contrapunto from Italian counterpose is a structural principle in which a standing human figure rests most of its weight on one leg, the engaged leg, while the other leg is relaxed. This shape causes a corresponding tilt in the hip, spine, and the shoulder, creating a subtle S-curve through the body. Historical what the hell is this? Historical contrapposto originates in classical Greek sculpture of the 5th century B.C.E. Its canonical example is Doryphoros by P.S.E, which embodied the sculpture's theory of ideal proportion. The pose racked away from the rigid symmetry of the early archaic figures, kuru, replacing stiffness with poised naturalism. Okay. No, it won't work. Let's change to substep. I will read unsolicited advice. This is unsolicited. Come on. Okay. Let's go here. Mhm. Okay. 30 most famous paintings in history. The best art of all time. The best art of all time. Among the works of art ever created by human hands, these there are those masterpieces. Among the works of art ever created by human hands, there are those masterpieces that have left their mark on the history of mankind forever. These are works set the tone of artistic movement, established fashion trends of their time, dictated a new style and new artistic value. But the most important thing is that they have always inspire millions of people for creative daring and new creative discoveries. Each era gave birth each era gave birth to its own genius, its great creator whose name and masterpiece will forever remain of a role model. Even through the centuries, every great artist has a unique artwork that are known and loved all over the world. It is about these iconic artwork that we want to remind you in our article to enjoy the greatest masterpiece in history together once again. First, first play Mona Lisa by Leonardo da Vinci. Probably the most famous painting in the world is Probably the most famous painting in the world is Leonardo da Vinci's La Gioconda, better known as Mona Lisa. This painting is a portrait of Madame Gherardini, personifying the ideal women of the Renaissance. They tried to name the painting more than once, and in 1911 is also kidnapped, returned only 2 years later. Admiration for this truly knows no bounds. Napoleon Bonaparte even removed it from the museum in order to hang it in his own bedroom. The painting is officially declared priceless, which is not surprising, as this masterpiece is the best art of all time. The only existing price is 3 billion insurance. Mona Lisa is currently kept in the Louvre, Paris. I need to read something good, something well. The handmaid. how to fix your entire life in one day. If you are anything like me, you think New Year resolutions are stupid because most people go about changing their life in the completely wrong way. They create these resolutions because everyone else does. We create a superficial meaning out of stated game, but they don't meet the requirement for true change, which go a lot deeper than convincing yourself you are going to be more disciplined or productive this year. If you are one of these people, I'm not here to talk down on you. I tend to a bit harsh on my writing. I have quick 10 10 more goals than I have achieved. I think that should be the case for most people. But the fact that people try to change their lives and utterly fail almost every time holds true. However, as much as I can think However, as much as I think New Year resolutions are stupid, it is always wise to reflect on the life you hate so you can launch yourself towards something that much better, as we will discuss. As we will discuss. So whether you want to start a business, transform your body, or take the risk toward a more meaningful life without quitting after 2 weeks, I want to share five. I want to share 7 ideas you probably haven't heard before on behavior change, psychology, and productivity, so you can just do that in 2026. This will be comprehensive. This isn't one of those letters that you read through and forget about. This is something you will want to bookmark. This is something you will want to bookmark, take notes on, and set aside time to think about. The protocol at the end to dig deep in your psyche and uncover what you truly want in life will take about a full day to complete, which effect that lasts far longer than that. Let's begin. First, you are you are not where you want to be because you are not the person you who would be there. You are not where you want to be because you are not the person who would be there. When it comes to setting big goals, people tend to focus on the when it comes to setting big goals, people tend to focus on one of the two requirements for success. First, one, changing your action to make process toward the goal. Changing your action to make process toward the goal. Least important second order. Two, changing who you are so that your behavior naturally follows. Most important first order. Most people set a survey level goal, hype themselves up to remain disciplined for the first few weeks, then go back to their old ways without much struggle, because they were trying to build a red line on a rotting foundation. If this doesn't make sense, let's run through an example. Think of think of somebody's success. Think of somebody successful. It can be a bodybuilder with a great physique, a founder, CEO, worth hundreds of millions, or a charismatic, or a charismatic dude who can chat up a group without a shadow of anxiety entering his mind. Do you think the bodybuilder had to learn to eat healthy? Does the CEO have to discipline themselves to show up and lead the team? To you, it may seem like that on the surface, but the truth is that they cannot see themselves living any other way. The bodybuilder had to learn to eat unhealthy. The CEO had to force themselves to lie in bed past their alarm clock, and they hate every second of it. There is nuance here. Just entertain me for a second. To some people, my own lifestyle seems a bit extreme and disciplined. To me, it's natural, and I don't say that to contract with any other kind of lifestyle. I simply enjoy this way. When my mom tells me that I should take a break, go out and have some fun, I hold my tongue from telling her, if I weren't have fun, why would I be doing what I'm doing? This next sentence might sound simple, but it's a baffling how many people don't get it. If you want a specific outcome in life, you must have a lifestyle that create that outcome long before you reach it. If someone say they want to lose 30 pounds, I often don't believe them, not because I don't think they are capable, but because there are too many times that the same person say, I can't wait until I'm done. If someone say they want to lose 30 pounds, I often don't believe them, not because I don't think they are capable, but because there are too many times when that same person says, I can't wait until I'm done losing weight so I can start to enjoy life again. I hate to break it to, I hate to break it to you, but if you don't adopt the lifestyle you losing that lead you to losing the way for life and find a reason pull that with a higher reputational pull than the one tying you to your previous way, then you will go straight back to where you start, and you can unhappily say that you waste the result you will never get back. Time. When you truly change yourself, all of your habits that don't move the needle toward your goal become disgusting because you have a deep and profound awareness of that kind of life no action compile into. You are okay with your current standards because you are not fully aware of what they are or what they lead to. We will discuss how to uncover this, but we need to build up to that. You say you want to change, you say you want to become financial free and get healthy, but your actions show otherwise for a reason, and it goes a lot deeper than you think. 2. You are not where you want to be because you don't want to be there. Just only movement. Lives happen at the level of events, not of words. Just movement. If you want to change who you are, you must understand how the mind works so that you can start to program it. The first step to understand the mind is to understand our behavior goal oriented. It's teleological. When you think about it, it is kind of obvious, but when we into it, most people don't want to hear it. You take a step forward because you want to reach a certain location. You scratch your nose because you want to make the itch go away. Those ones are clear, but most of the time your goals are unconscious. You may not realize that you sit on the couch in the middle of the day. You're trying to burn time before your next responsibility as one simple example. On an even more unconscious and complex level, you pursue goals that can harm you, but you justify your action in a way that is socially acceptable and doesn't make you seem like a loser. As an example, if you cannot stop procrastinating your work, you may justify you may just you may justify it with the fact that you lack discipline, but in reality, you are attempting to achieve a goal like you always are. In this case, that goal could be to protect yourself from the judgment that comes from finishing and sharing your work. If you say you want to quit, your dead end job, but stay in it without any real reason. You may start to think you don't have enough courage, or that you were never actually a risk taker. But the truth is that you are pursuing the goal of safety, predictability, and an skill, not to look like a failure to everyone else in your life who sees working a dead end job and as a sign of success. Of success. The lesson here is that the real change requires changing your goals. I don't mean setting some surface level goal, because the act of doing that serves an unconscious goal that is actually harming you. That's been ran through enough in the productivity space. I mean, what I mean is changing your point of view, because that is a because that is what a goal is. A goal is to a goal is a projection in the future that acts as a lens of perception, which allows you to notice information, ideas, and the result that aid you achieving that goal. Now let's dig a bit deeper, because if you don't understand it, it only becomes more difficult to get out.